I never told my wife that I am the anonymous investor with $10 billion worth of shares in her father's company. She always saw me living simply. One day, she invited me to have dinner with her parents. I wanted to see how they would treat a poor, naive man, but as soon as they slid an envelope across the table, my coffee had gone cold, but I kept holding it anyway. My wife Emma thought we could barely afford this tiny Chicago apartment. She had no idea I owned the entire building. Emma believed I worked as an entry-level accountant, making $40,000 a year. The truth was different. You're doing it again, Emma said, looking up from her laptop. That worried look. Just thinking, I said. Well, stop. We always figure things out. She smiled, and guilt washed over me. My parents want us for dinner Saturday, she said suddenly. Dad wants to meet you properly. Her father, Richard Morrison, CEO of Morrison Technologies, billions in revenue. A man who believed money measured worth. A man who had no idea I controlled 42% of his company. Sure, I said. Sounds great. 4 years ago, I'd made a fortune in cryptocurrency and software. By 26, I had more money than I could spend. I'd hidden it behind fake companies, then quietly bought into Morrison Technologies when Richard was making terrible decisions. 6 months later, I met Emma at a bookstore. I was pretending to be Jake, a struggling accountant. We talked about books and dreams. I fell completely in love before we finished our coffee. Now, 3 years into marriage, I was still lying, still testing everyone to see who they really were when they thought I had nothing. Saturday came. We drove north in our old Toyota to her parents' mansion in Lake Forest. Gates, perfect lawns, wealth everywhere. Emma's mother opened the door, perfectly dressed, smile not reaching her eyes. Emma, darling, and you must be Jake. Richard Morrison sat at the head of a massive dining table, gray-haired, suited even on Saturday. He smiled at Emma, then looked at me. The smile died. So, he said, shaking my hand too firmly, you're the accountant who married my daughter. Dinner was served by staff, multiple courses, expensive wine. Emma's mother made small talk. Richard just watched me. Finally, he leaned forward. Emma tells me you work entry level. Must be difficult supporting a family on that salary. We manage. Do you? My daughter lives in a tiny apartment, takes the bus, eats ramen. That's not managing. That's surviving. Dad, Emma said tightly, we're happy. Are you? Or just settling? Richard laughed bitterly. I built Morrison Technologies from nothing, sacrificed everything so my daughter would never struggle. He reached for an envelope on the sideboard, slid it across to me. Junior analyst position, $55,000 to start. Benefits. Take it. Prove you're willing to do what's necessary for my daughter. Emma's face went red. Dad, you can't. Let him answer. I opened the envelope, read the offer. $55,000. Richard Morrison's charity for the poor man who trapped his daughter. This was it. I pulled out my real phone, found what I needed, slid it to Richard. He read. His face changed. Confusion, shock, fear. This is internal Morrison correspondence. Board minutes. Information only the major shareholder would have. Yes, I said. I'm the anonymous investor who owns 42% of Morrison Technologies. For 4 years, every decision you've made needed my approval. That acquisition, I approved it. The R&D cuts, I blocked them. Your bonus during salary freezes, I killed it. Emma stared at me.